Hey guys, my name is Josh, as you would probably have guessed from the channel name. I've been a PlayStation gamer for the better part of 20 years, but I've only got really into trophy hunting in 2018, with my very first platinum being the 2018 hit God of War. And since then, over the last 7 years, I've managed to earn quite a few platinum trophies, which honestly is probably a bit slow, but in my defense, I do have a full-time job. Eventually, I thought if I'm going to keep suffering through all these platinums anyway, might as well capture my journey on stream. So for my first official video, I wanted to go back to one of my favorite games of all time. Originally released back in 2013 on the PS3 to universal acclaim, The Last of Us was hailed by many as Naughty Dog's finest game. It combined brutal survival gameplay with one of the most emotional stories ever told in a video game, and honestly, it pretty much became PlayStation's defining title. Naturally, Sony then decided to remaster it for the PS4 in 2014 because apparently one version of the game was not enough. And then, just when you thought they were done squeezing every last drop of this game, they remade it again for the PS5 in 2022. At this point, I fully expect The Last of Us Part 1 remastered, enhanced, director's cut, whatever edition to release for the PS6 in a few years. I already had the platinum on the PS4, but when the PS5 remake came out, I decided to do it all over again, and this time live on stream. And because I had already done it before, I thought it was going to be easier this time around. I mean, surely I knew what I was doing by now, right? My God. Yeah, absolutely not. The game starts with you playing as Sarah, and following an ominous phone call from Joel's brother Tommy, things go downhill pretty fast.
Jimmy, I am warning you.
Joel tries to get her out, she gets injured, and then you get to that moment.
Please don't. Oh no. Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. God. Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay,
Oh,
baby.
man.
Stand with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was going to be a good idea to go through this all over again just for a platinum.
Come on.
We jump ahead 20 years, and yeah, the world is completely screwed. Joel is now surviving in a quarantine zone in Boston, working as a smuggler with Tess, just trying to get by. And like any good post-apocalyptic story, this all kicks off because of a missing weapon shipment. To be honest, I don't even know if that actually happens in other post-apocalyptic stories. It's my first time, so just cut me some slack, guys. Anyways, some guy named Robert decided it was a good time to double cross us, so now we have to go get our stuff back. Not long after meeting Tess, I picked up my first Firefly pendant, which gave us our first trophy, Fallen Firefly. And then came my first contact with the infected on Grounded, which surprisingly went pretty well, seeing as I completely bypassed them without a scratch. My strategy from this point onwards was basically survive first, think about your dignity later. Shortly after we reach our first combat section, which I honestly thought I could get past easily on our first try, okay, second try. In the next combat section, I realized that my prior experience on the PS4 was not going to help. By the way, Tess was of absolutely no help here. Honestly, I just wish we somehow got rid of her at this point in time. After dying a couple of times, we then catch up to Robert, and after a short chase, we find out the weapons have been sold to the Fireflies, but we solve things pretty amicably. Conveniently, if I may add, we immediately meet the Fireflies right after. Anyways, in order to get the guns back, we agree to smuggle something out of the city for Marlene, because of course we can't have it that easy, can we? And soon after, we are introduced to Ellie, and that is when we get upgraded from gun to human smugglers. Shortly into the beginning of the chapter, we find out Ellie is immune to the virus, which makes all the more sense as to why we are on this suicide mission in the first place. After successfully escaping from the military, we then get introduced to the clickers. These are variants of the infected that can't basically see. If they get a hold of you, they're pretty much gone.
I don't know who you are. I will find you. And I will kill you.
We then find ourselves in the subway in probably the toughest section yet. And yeah, it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. I figured out I could just use a couple of Molotov cocktails to take out a couple of the clickers and then pick off the rest of the infected while I hid like a little bitch in the corner, and then, like the idiot I am, I ran straight into one. And guys, I really gotta tell you, I really hated this section. I died over and over and over again until I was almost ready to give up. Until finally, I just lost it and decided
I'm just gonna have to burn them all down.
After struggling our way past this section, we make it to the museum where we come across another group of infected, and well, yeah, I realize how much I suck at this game. Dying a couple more times, we get out of that nightmare and finally make our way to the Capitol building, where we eventually find out Tess is infected. Tess then sacrifices herself to allow us to escape, and we fail at it spectacularly. I then decided, after failing at stealth yet again, to do what my childhood hero, Batman, would have done. Just punch my way out. We finally make it through with Ellie showing Joel that the spores do not affect her, and then we find ourselves in... Now, Billstown may look peaceful from the outside, but it's just one giant death trap. Turns out, old buddy Bill has booby-trapped the entire town to keep people and the infected out. Nice guy, Bill. Shortly after picking up a new weapon, we then trip up one of Bill's other traps, and what ensues is just completely terrifying. And just as it seemed like Joel was done for, Bill comes to the rescue. Nice guy, Bill. After some tense exchanges between Bill and Ellie, we pick up our second trophy, self-help, for finding our first training manual. Now we make it to probably one of the toughest sections in the game, especially when you are low on ammo, the school. Now, I hated school as a child. This didn't do much to change my opinion on that. We take on a bunch of infected outside, where I figured I could hack it and just focus on the infected coming at me one at a time by standing on top of the school bus, which worked out pretty well, if I may add. Finally making it inside after being chased by, you guessed it, more infected. Now this section inside the school just made me hate my life even more. Sometimes it wasn't even Joel dying. Just as I thought I was making some progress by sneaking through, I ended up aggroing a few of the infected, which then resulted in pure chaos. And just when you feel it should slow down, we come across this guy. Honestly, with barely any ammo or health left, I genuinely thought I wasn't gonna get past this section. I started getting used to the screen being red, which indicated I was probably just one hit away from restarting the fight again. Well, to my surprise, I wasn't here long. After a couple of more deaths, which managed to take down the bloater and make it to safety. Before we leave Billstown, we meet up with Bill's friend and pick up another trophy, In Memoriam, where we give Bill a note and then have to wait for him to discard it and then pick it up again for the trophy to register. And with that, after a few more scares, we finally get the car started and get the hell out of this nightmare of a town. Joel and Ellie make their way to Pittsburgh, where they immediately get ambushed and we get to witness Joel's old man strength. Surprisingly, we only die here once, so we don't have too much trouble. We soon pick up another trophy, Savage Starlight Fan, for finding our first comic book. Immediately following this, we come to our next section, which, to be honest, we can't get through without stealth, especially on Grounded. Which reminds me, Grounded mode, unlike the easier modes, doesn't have listen mode, which is a feature which allows you to track enemies through walls, and as you will see, this goes horribly wrong. Well, surprisingly, after dying just one more time, we actually managed to make it out. Come on, come on, come on! Ah! Yes! At least the luck is going well for now. We then continue to try and stealth our way through the next combat sections, where we have some degree of success, until we come to the section I dreaded the most since I booted up this game for the first time. And frankly, this goes all the way back to the PS4 version. After an unfortunate fall where Joel is separated from Ellie, we have to make our way through the basement of the hotel. And while being stalked by stalkers, these weren't in the game on the PS4, but they were added in the PS5 version to make it more fun fun. Yay me. In order to progress past this section, I must first get power to the keycard door at the end of this section and make a run for it before the stalkers and a bloater which spawns after you start the generator get to you. I do that and immediately run for it towards the door, only to realize I forgot there is a keycard that we need as well. Oh man, I forgot. There's some keycard or some shit I need to get. Oh god. Following this and panic fighting my way to safety and then getting blocked by the bloater, I decided it was best to restart the encounter in order to save ammunition since I kept wasting it and give myself a better chance in the next combat section. So we get the keycard, start the generator, then run for it towards the door. Ah man! Okay, let's try that again. Get the keycard, start the generator, run for the door. Following that, Ellie saves Joel from drowning and we immediately get into one of the worst sections of the game on Grounded. At least back on the PS4. Joel trusts Ellie with the rifle while we need to somehow clear the area with barely any ammunition and a hope and a prayer. Honestly, at this point, after seeing how Tess performed, I have no faith in Ellie. Ellie actually does come through for us by taking out a few of the guys and making our life slightly easier. Oh, damn it. Yeah, I'm already hating this. Surprisingly, after only dying a couple of times, I made my way to a particular section in the corner of this building where the NPCs basically became sanely stupid and I just started picking them off one by one. And they still kept on coming like moths to a flame. Just as it was going so well, this happens. Oh man! I was dreading doing the whole section again when suddenly, it seems like there was a checkpoint and I don't have to start this section from the beginning. So with the last enemy, I ran out of patience and molotoved him. We then come across brothers Sam and Henry who are trying to get to the Fireflies, fellow survivors just like ourselves, and Joel decides to team up with them. We then work together with Sam and I die a couple more times but pick up our next trophy on the way, Lights Out, where we have to turn off this spotlight generator. However, right after that... fucking up. Yeah, I realize I'm probably stuck. I figured I'll put some distance between them and me to see if I would have more success, which didn't work out the way I wanted. I then decided to go and camp behind where the generator was, as I felt this would have probably been my best chance. And it was. Now, just as I thought I was probably safe... Ah! Yeah, anyways, after we finally get through this section, we end up being chased by the Humvee and then Joel and Ellie make a break for it by jumping into the river. After grouping with Henry and Sam, we make our way into the sewers where... We make our way to what for me was the worst section back on the PS4. The group splits up where Joel gets paired with user Sam over here. There was a trick on the PS4 version where we could basically just run past all the infected into safety, so naturally I tried that. Ah, shit. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work this time. And then I decided to do that again, but blast my way at the end. Ah! Anyways, I try again. Okay, it's done. We then regroup with Henry and Ellie, finally making our way out of this hellhole. Following a couple of minutes strolling through the beautifully rendered suburbs, we come across a sniper and some annoying human NPCs. After struggling our way through them, we turn the tables on them and we get to go all sniper elite on their asses. The Humvee makes a dramatic return and we finally use our sniper skills to get rid of it. Shortly after the town is overrun by the infected, we then escape to live another day. Or at least Ellie and Joel, if you know what I mean. After some brilliant acting, Bella Ramsey, I'm looking at you. We wake up to quite a horrific morning.
Shit, he's turning! That's my fucking brother! Screw it!
Shit!
Ellie? Ellie, are you alright?
Oh my god.
Sam?
Oh no.
Sam? Henry? Ellie, stay there. Henry? What have you done? I'm gonna get that gun from you, okay? Oh, okay, easy. This is your fault. This is nobody's fault, Henry. It's all your fault! Henry! Henry, no!
Oh my god.
Dude, that still hits, man, even after all these years. Fuck. Holy We then make our way to a brotherly reunion between Joel and Tommy, where after he shows us around the place, we pick up our next trophy for petting the goodest boy. We then find out that Joel plans to dump Ellie onto Tommy, and then for Tommy to basically carry on with the quest. Ellie, finding out about this, reacts just the way you expect a teenage child to, which is to run away, I guess. Joel and Tommy then have to find Ellie, and we get to further explore the beauty of this game on horseback this time. Anyways, good things never last, and I soon find myself stuck in another encounter with, I don't know which faction we call this. Okay, this one was brutal, partly cause I had one bloody arrow left. Anyways, I tried sneaking my way through, then I figured I need to move to my right and start picking them off one by one, which pretty much worked in the past before. It worked for a while until, well, I then decided I needed a break and that I should probably just come back and try again another day. The next stream, I try a different method. We take out one guy coming from the right of the car and then wait for the rest of them to come to the car one at a time. This way, I could avoid the use of any ammunition and try and purely rely on Joel's old man strength. We finally clear the area and resume on our path to find Ellie, after which we get this scene.
Her, you know.
What?
Maria told me about Sarah.
Ellie?
And
You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel, but I have lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everyone I have cared for has either died or left me. Everyone fucking except for you. So don't tell me that I would be safer with someone else, because the truth is I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. And we are going our separate ways. Get it together. We're not alone.
After one final encounter with this faction, which was way easier than I thought it would be, we make our way to the end of the chapter, and Joel decides to take Ellie with him to find the Fireflies. Next up, the university. After some more bonding time between Joel and Ellie, we come across another tricky situation where Joel drops down into, you guessed it, spores. And where there is spores, there will always be infected, which I hate to my core at this point. And to make things even better, there's another bloater over here. Now, one of the trophies in the game is to get Firefly pendants, just like the first one we got, but basically for all of them. And one of the pendants you get is with, you guessed it, this guy. At this point, being that it is grounded difficulty, I figured we will come back for this in chapter select on an easier difficulty. For now, we will just try to sneak past him. I try to take out the clickers with an arrow, and well, you can see what happens next. I tried again, and surprisingly, it goes well this time. After making our way through the campus, we finally reach where the Fireflies are supposed to be, but well, we find it empty. Through the various recordings in the area, Joel and Ellie realize the Fireflies have set up base in Salt Lake City, and just when you think we have a destination, yeah, of course we have to get attacked by a group of hunters. During the attack, Joel decides the apocalypse is a fantastic time to get a piercing. And that brings the end of the chapter and the beginning of this chapter. In particular, the Lakeside Resort is probably one of the worst chapters to play on Grounded, mainly because we play as Ellie, and as such we don't have access to Joel's old man hands. After killing a rabbit and hunting for some deer, we eventually run into David, masterfully portrayed by Nolan North, if I may add. David and Ellie get surrounded by the infected. It goes about just as well as you think. I don't know why I keep panicking and using the fucking knife. I hated this so damn much. Miraculously, we make it through and then die to more infected. After making our way past this section, we then get locked into another room with infected coming from all corners. To be honest, I felt like my best chance here was to run around and use the room to my advantage while picking them off one by one. But I knew from my past experience on the PS4 that this was going to get much worse. Cue this guy. Honestly, it took a bit of luck, but a few shots from the hunting rifle, a failed attempt of the Molotov cocktail, Ah, damn it! Followed by a successful one and another couple of shots from the hunting rifle, and we were done. We find out that Nolan North is a creepy guy who has a bone to pick with Joel, cause of course, well, the bloodbath at the university. And also he's a cannibal, like, what else can you expect at this point? Anyways, after being chased by a couple of David's men, we get stuck in this town. Honestly, this wasn't this bad on the PS4 version, especially cause after dying we literally get a checkpoint out in the middle of the fucking open. You know, to make it easy to get blown. Jesus Christ, whose idea was this shit? After a couple of tries, we make a run for it, and just as I thought we would not make it, luck does end up shining on us, or so I thought. I tried taking these guys out near the resort, but nothing I did seem to work until I figured out my best bet would have been to try and sneak past them again. But for some reason, the AI has vastly been improved from the previous generation, so much so that no matter what I do, they always seem to catch me. What didn't help is that due to the bullet I got hit with from the previous section, left me with enough health where just one hit would be enough to end me. I ended up giving up for the night and actually doing something I never would have thought of doing since I started the stream. I looked it up on YouTube. Turns out there is another entry point which I completely missed from the front of the lodge through the roof, and I decided that's my best bet. I hop on the game again, sneak past a few of them, and then make a run for it to the roof. We eventually get caught by David and get put to sleep. Taking control of Joel again, we make our way tearing through David's men, sneaking past some of them and dying a few times. Then switching back to Ellie, escaping David, dying as well, and only to end up with a boss fight with David Epstein. Now, you would think this fight is hard since Ellie has nothing besides her knife to defend herself with, but actually it's pretty easy. We just have to run around in circles and attack him from behind. We switch to Joel, struggle our way past the rest of them, but we do end up getting to Ellie just as she upskills herself in the art of butchery. Next up, the whole instance with David leaves Ellie mentally scarred, so naturally we needed something to cheer her up. And we probably get the best scene in the whole game. You know what I'm talking about, the giraffe. Well, as many of you can tell, we are edging towards the climax of the game, and as such we can't finish this without one last bout with, you guessed it, the infected. Now this section is much harder than the previous sections cause we have this time not one or two, but 3 freaking bloaters, multiple clickers, and many more infected than I bothered to count. The only way through this from experience, especially on grounded, is to sneak past most of them. There's no other way. You don't have enough ammunition to blast your way through. On the easy difficulties, you can try and blast your way through this place because of the abundance of ammo, but fat chance trying to do the same on grounded. So sneak away it is. Things were going well until I got spotted by a runner. God. Okay, new plan. Kill the runner first, then go around them. How? Dude, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay, for some effing reason, the clicker also noticed me. I don't even know how. Anyways, I decided to try again. Same thing. Runner next to the truck and one next to the car. Now to try and sneak past them. And we make it. Now just one last segment of the game. On our way to our exit, we pick up our next trophy, which felt like forever since our last trophy. Soon after, we have a panic-infused gameplay session with Joel slipping and falling into the water. And then having to save Ellie, who can't swim by the way. We finally reach our end goal of meeting up with the Fireflies. Joel wakes up and we find Marlene in here as well. We then find out that the cordyceps fungus has mutated within Ellie and that she's been prepped for surgery. Unfortunately, this would result in Ellie not making it. And after Joel already losing Sarah and Tess, no way we're gonna let that happen. Joel then does what he does best, picking off guys one by one, die a couple of times in the process. We make to the surgery room where, if you played Last of Us Part 2, Joel does something which will come back to haunt him in the next game. We then carry Ellie to safety, and Marlene of course ends up stopping us. Well, Ellie wakes up later on. We then lie to Ellie, telling her that there is no cure and that there are many more people immune like her, which Ellie pretty obviously starts doubting. I mean, anyone would at this point. She's right though, because, well, Joel also ended up wasting Marlene in the process of rescuing her. Anyways, with that gut-wrenching emotional ending, we complete our first playthrough of the main story on Grounded, and with that we get a trophy as well. Now with that out of our way, I was left with 2 options. Go ahead with Left Behind, which was a DLC back on the PS4 but right now needed for the Platinum, or go back and get the miscellaneous trophies, and I chose the latter. So through New Game Plus and on the easy difficulty, yeah, I'm not gonna do Grounded again. I decided this was the best course of action to get the other trophies before Left Behind. By this point, we only picked up 8 trophies and still had 20 more to go for the platinum. In this run, we pick up first trophy in Boston, and that is of Geared Up, for crafting every single item, which we couldn't do in Grounded because of the lack of resources. There are 6 items to craft: health kit, shiv, molotov, upgraded melee weapon, nail gun, and the smoke bomb. Following that, we picked up the trophy Combat Ready, where I upgraded the 9mm pistol in order to pop this. Next was the Sticky Fingers trophy, where in order to get this I had to find and open all 4 safes in the game. Our next trophy was Waterlogged, which required Joel to ride the sewer contraption with Henry and Sam. Strangely, this didn't pop up during the first playthrough at all, despite me doing the exact same thing. But I guess it is what it is. Next trophy was Prepared for the Worst, find all workbenches, which we picked up in the suburbs. Strangely missed this one on the first playthrough as well. After this was doing something I really hated doing, which was the left hanging trophy, where we had to deny Ellie a much deserved high five. Then at the university, we pick up a final comic book in order to pick up the trophy Endure and Survive. On the way, we kill the bloater that we ran past through in the first playthrough to get one of the Firefly pendants to help unlock the trophy later on. Next, at the university as well, was Build Him Up, Break Him Down, for upgrading and breaking every single melee weapon in the game. Then at the Lakeside Resort, we pick up something to fight for, which was to find the final upgrade manual. This leaves us with 2 final trophies in this playthrough: Master of Unlocking, for unlocking all shift doors, and Look for the Light, which is by picking up the final Firefly pendant, which we get back to back in the final chapter at the hospital. For the home run is Left Behind, where we play as Ellie, which was not required for the plat on the PS4 and the PS3, but well, we gotta do them now. This serves as a mini prequel for the game, basically to show us what Ellie had been up to and how she ended up being the world's only Cleo at the same time. It also switches between this and Ellie trying to get some medicine for Joel for when he got that piercing back at the university. Our first trophy was the Brick Master trophy for beating Riley at the brick throwing contest, which to be honest was pretty fun. Then we force ourselves to listen to Ellie's horrible jokes for That's All I Got.
I'm reading a book on anti-gravity, and it's impossible to put down.
Nice.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm done with that. After which we get the Getting to Know You trophy for all optional conversations. The next trophy we had to get was Angel Knives, to defeat Black Fang without getting hit. Now I didn't get all the trophies back on the PS4 version for the DLC, so I genuinely thought it was probably from an arcade minigame, but it turned out to be a somewhat wholesome trophy at the end. I then realized after checking the trophy list that I did miss a trophy and ended up replaying this section again in order to get Nobody's Perfect, which required playing the Jack X game in Left Behind. Up next was the trophy Skills with the Z for beating Riley in a water gun fight. As we make our way to the next area, we get the trophy Chronicles for finding all notes and artifacts. Our second last trophy is probably the most satisfying trophy of Left Behind, Live Bait, where I had to load this group of infected to take out some of the enemies. Now just to bring it home, our final trophy to unlock the platinum was for completing the game. And with that, there it is. It's done. We finally unlocked the platinum. This was and honestly probably always will be one of my favorite games of all time. I've played it multiple times over the years, and I'll always cherish the fact that I was able to earn the platinum for this game twice. Because very few games manage to do what The Last of Us does. It delivers emotionally, it delivers stressful gameplay, and somehow manages to make you suffer and enjoy every second of it at the same time. If you enjoyed this video and want to see me go for more platinums, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.